What's going on, everybody? I've had a few requests to go in a little bit more depth of my 4x4s here, and this of course would be my 99 Ram extended cab 3500 1-ton 4-wheel drive. Yes, that's a lot to say. I bought this truck 2.5 years ago. It's got under 142,000 on it. I know that much. I know it's pulled other trucks out of ditches, but here's what I know. Once I pop this hood, you guys what you're gonna expect, but oh, look at that, it's not what you expected. It is, in fact, an 8-liter V10. That's a 488 cubic inch big block Mopar. And yes, the V10 in this Dodge is the same V10 that goes in the Viper. It's just a different top end that's geared for torque versus power. And yes, this truck does put out more torque and more horsepower stock than a Cummins does stock. So all you freaking gas haters, suck a dick on that one. Read your fucking facts before you start running your mouth. This 8-liter V10 right here will outpull just about any freaking non-built Cummins Power Stroke Duramax I've ever come up against. And yes, I have dropped lots of chains with people. So you think you got a truck that can pull mine backwards? Bring it on. 'Cause I'll show you what 10 cylinders of Mopar can do. But what you haven't seen and what you haven't heard about is what happened to the exhaust on this thing. Although it does sound good now. Turn that damn radio down. Yeah, we got 141,765 miles on her. Got the BF Goodrich All-Terrain TAKO radials. Starts up and runs like a champ. What you guys don't know is I was driving around town and apparently I got on the gas a little too hard, and the short of the story is when I did the exhaust on this truck, I forgot to weld the fucking muffler onto the tailpipe coming from the downpipes. So I ended up blowing the muffler and the whole back of the exhaust off. There we go. So what I ended up doing is I've had a 4-inch stack and a 6-inch stack on this thing. So I ended up by putting the 6-inch stack, you can't see jack. There's a 6-inch stack up underneath that. But enough bullshit, let's just she's been warmed up because I've already taken her out once. I'm gonna open the windows up a little bit, get the heat freaking cranking. Oh, it's freaking cold today. Very, very cold today. Oh, there we go. Get the windows down just a little bit so you guys can actually hear the exhaust. Try and get this sucker out of overdrive and into final gear. Probably would help if I shifted out a second. There we go. 50 miles an hour already in the final gear. Before in previous videos, the transmission has been built to a stage 3. It's pretty much as heavy duty as you're gonna get. It's built just like a Cummins transmission, so it's the valve body has been replaced. Everything inside that was aluminum is now solid steel. It's just too damn cold. I have those freaking windows down today. Everything that was in the valve body that was all aluminum, like the entire valve body, the plates, everything, it's all been changed over to steel. Also, it has a Kevlar line clutch torque converter that's, I think, a 2800 stall on it. The four-wheel drive on it works like a friggin' champ. The only time I've gotten stuck with this thing is when I did not have my all-terrains. When I bought the truck, they had some cheap shit-ass tire called the Commercial HT. Oh my god, I just flung the rooster tail and didn't even mean to. Fuck you, road. Either way, it was a shitty little pair they called Commercial HT tires, and within a year I had those things down to racing slicks. So $1,100 later and a new set of tires, and $1,500 later after transmission, $800 later after front brakes, new center link and tie rods, another $500 later after radiator, water pump hoses, coolant flush. Yeah, on top of what I paid for the truck, I've got about 10 grand in this beast. Not to mention, I think wheel bearings are going to be coming up soon for it too. But she does run. The brake light was giving me issues before, but for some reason now, brake light's not been coming on anymore. I've checked the power steering pump because this truck, unlike many others or most others, does not have a brake booster. It's got a fucking computer on it. That's right. I have a computer that controls my brakes along with a hydraulic assist from the power steering pump. That's pretty shitty for a 1-ton truck. Just like it's also pretty shitty that it's commonplace with these year model trucks that the transmissions are absolute fucking junk on them. You could buy one brand new back in '96, drive it home from the showroom, take it home, take your transmission pin off, and it looked like your damn transmission fell apart. Well, that problem got remedied. But this whole lack of a brake booster thing is just absolute total horse shit. If your power steering pump ever decides it wants to start taking a shit, guess what? Your brakes decide they want to take a shit too. Now see, my brakes are getting a little funky, but that's just when they get wet. As we wait and wait and wait. It's still loud inside of here, but at least it's tolerable now. It was extremely friggin' loud. But yep, truck's got a Dana 60 front, straight axle. and a Dana 80 rear. That's a big ass rear end for a pickup truck. Let's see, not sure on the transfer case, but it does have a live PTO. That way if I wanted to, say, run the hydraulics for a snowplow on the front or whatever, I could. Run the hydraulics for a dump bed, it's there. I've got the live wire on my firewall. It's also come to my attention that these trucks are pretty freaking rare to find a 3500 V10. Most of them were all either, well, they weren't 12. I think earlier years they were 12 valve, but the rest they were all 24 valve Cummins motors. And yes, it's Cummins, not Cummings, like so many people I've seen on YouTube say Cummings. Oh, does that have a Cummings motor? No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's got a Cummins. It doesn't have a Cummings. I've never heard of that type of motor. Is that like a Power Stroke or some shit? But with this truck being a 99, it does have its issues, like the cracked dash. But all the problems with it are cosmetic versus mechanical, so fuck it, I don't care. I'm sorry for the graphic, all the language, but some days when I'm not dealing with RC, I like to cut loose a little bit, and of course there'll be a disclaimer. Wait till I hit my bump stop. Oh, there we go. This truck also, by the way, is for sale. It is on Craigslist right now, and after this video is done, I will be taking pictures of it and uploading the pictures to Craigslist. Only for the fact that I'm trying to downsize, because this truck is just a little too big. Huh. What the hell? While we're out, we might as well go over to the other vehicles too. After I see what kind of mud I flung on the back of my truck when I accidentally drove in that ditch. Poo-poo. Here's the other car. This is the 2000 Saturn SL2 that I have body kitted and put $15,000 in the motor and transmission, hand built. And yes, my side skirt's hanging down. I need to fix that badly. I figure I'll do the four-wheeler on a whole nother video. And that's it in a nutshell, pretty much. My 99 Dodge Ram 3500 1-ton V10.